God, the Bible, health, spirituality, life, death, and so much more. So, here's another recap on the second Pirates um, video recently published. And just wanted to make a brief note about the advantage of climate. And there's some who have experienced the same, had the same experience or very similar, but were from different regions. And so we have a very similar backgrounds and lineage. However, we are from different regions. And the goal is to just squash a little bit of the disparity, a little bit of the iniquity, a little bit of the prejudices within those groups. So we're not even speaking necessarily of the Europeans right now, but the Europeans had an advantage on of climate in the southeast of Northern America, because North America, southeast is a warmer climate than the northern states, which allows for propagation and for farming and all sorts of things. However, it's not as warm as the Caribbean or even some of the Southwest regions. As a matter of fact, they were unable to even penetrate most of the Southwest until the 19th century, 20th century. So, and that was still difficult when they penetrated the West. And some attempted, some stayed, some went back east. So the advantage was definitely climate. And so when we hear of like the revolt in some of the Caribbean islands and they were able to break free, it's a lot easier because the work was harder and it was harder for them to maintain control there. But there was more of a possibility to maintain control in the southeast. And so people dwelling in this region did experience some hardships that others did not. And the scarcity of food in this region, if you do not have, like if you've ever been to the Caribbean, you will probably see a mango tree, all types of fruit trees and different things that you can eat and survive off of just very little. And you're surrounded by water. And so here in the southeast of North America, that would not be possible. And then you have the terrain, which is not easy. And we have the change of seasons, which makes it difficult. So sometimes people say African Americans are lazy, they didn't try, they didn't do this, they don't do that. But there was a different climate, environments, and demographics here because of the scarcity of the sun in the eastern parts of the country. And also, if you think about it, in the Aboriginal countries in the African land, they were not able to do the same things because it was very dense and it was very hot and warm. But those who lived on the west coast of Africa did have experience exploring and selling back and forth this way. So having those people in tow was to their advantage. So just to gain perspective of everyone's experience and not belittling this experience of those who did experience slavery for a longer period of time than others, but acknowledging that, but while also dispelling some of the traumatic stories that have floated around over the decades. So that's it for this podcast. The next one is going to be generational trauma. We're going to talk about that some more because this is the point of this discussion. Because whether you are European, African American, Caribbean, white, brown, black, yellow, red, whatever color, it doesn't matter. We're not in a race. And we need to talk about generational trauma because this is something that has been told to us and believed. So I'm going to end this video because I want people to listen to it and I feel like they have to listen for 15-20 minutes. And we're going to get started on the next video.